Welcoming guys to another scout report. I am on the wide receivers. I know I did a couple of. I know I said in the last video. Again, this is the second wide receiver that I'm going to be scouting in this draft class, and Tetairoa McMillan, or T Mac, as that's his nickname in college, T Mac. Tetairoa McMillan. He's 6'4". He's gonna be 22 around the time when the draft happens. So he's 21 now, so he's going to be 22 in a month, about a few more weeks, about 3 or 4 weeks. He's gonna, about that 3 or 4 weeks to be 22. So he's 6'4". On tape it says 6'5", 6'4", so it depends again. 6'4". So the games that I saw on tape were he plays up for Arizona State. He plays for Arizona. The games I saw him on tape were New Mexico, K-State, Texas Tech, BYU, West Virginia, UCFF, Florida, Houston, Houston, TCU, and Arizona State. So they're the games that I scouted him on, and I went off and first thing that I saw on his tape where he has a remarkable position. He has a remarkable position and versatility, and he can thrive. He could thrive as a box X or as a power slot. That's the two combinations you could have him with in a system. So you could work him as both an X slot and a power slot. So it depends on really what team he goes to and what really system the offensive coordinator would really want to play. So again, you could play him in a slot X and a power slot. It all depends. And he has fluid movement, and he has really, that's kind of, when I was looking at his frame, kind of does have a bit of a small frame, but for his frame, bit of rare that he has fluid movement, like especially because he has a shorter frame. But again, he's 6'4", so again, he can build himself out. Like, he goes to the gym. I said that about, I think, somebody else on this channel about him not being too like muscular and stuff like that. Go to the gym, work out, whatever. You can fix that. That's gym work you can do. But yeah, he's got some great movement, especially with his frame, which again is good stuff. And then he has he displays some advanced route running pursue. Yeah, he's got advanced running passer with diverse tree, particularly on the X ceiling on whipping the route. So again, when he's whipping it on the route, he's great with his advanced. He's a good advanced route runner, which is great stuff. And he can cut across into the middle. Again, there's different things you can do with, depends on again what scheme you're gonna have. And then he has a demon like elite ball tracking ability, and he has, so again, that's something that, again, if you want a weapon like Tetairoa McMillan, then you need somebody who has, again, what I've seen on tape. He has an elite ball level tracking. He has great timing on deep throws. I was pretty impressed. It was a game Arizona against New Mexico, which I really was impressed with. And then he has a consistently winning concentration on. He has great body control as well, so he's not like easily pushed out of play or sacked or whatever. Like, he has really good body control, especially when you're going off of his frame. And then he possesses a natural hand. He has a natural hand as well. Natural hand and arm movement and expensive catch reading. And making him reliable for targets. So again, if you have a good quarterback with him, like if you put him with like a Caleb Williams or like a Drake May, like you could see a lot of great things going on with, like, if you did go with a young quarterback like a Drake May, or if you did go with a Cam Ward, like if the Titans would maybe trade up and they would keep going, like if McMillan was still on the board in the top 7, like you could have the Titans trade up to 7 again, go to 7, and then they trade away a couple players, and then they have the young quarterback and they have a weapon around it. It all depends, but and so he's a reliable target down the field. He excels on finding soft spots in the zone of coverage, and can work to back up the potential of the blockers play. Then kind of last one that I've seen here is that he uses his size advantage effectively in the red zone. And again, I said in the New Mexico game, like he was really good in that and a couple of other games that I saw. And then these weaknesses, I just really want to touch on a couple of these weaknesses here. He kind of, he can improve on his explosiveness off the line of scrimmage. That's kind of something that I saw in his tape. I think that could be coached, like his explosiveness off the line of scrimmage, which sometimes a lot of the defensive tackles can telegraph his route against the coverage. So that's kind of something that, again, if he works on his explosiveness off the line of scrimmage, then that'd be good for the sometimes that one thing I saw that he's a good catch point. Sometimes that if he's up against a good corner, then he can lose a physicality. He can lose a physical battle against a corner that he's up against a bigger physical. Again, if he's up against an elite level corner, that's kind of one of the big concerns. Then work on his release package and his expansion to consistently beat the press coverage, and basically work on. Then really what I saw here is that he needs to work on his expansion to consistently beat the press coverage, and particularly on the vertical route. Work on the vertical route and stuff like that, and work on the press coverage, especially when you're on the line of scrimmage. And then the summary. He can be when I saw him, he's a cover 1, definitely going to be a cover 1 wide receiver. He can be a cover 1 wide receiver, but again, he needs to improve on his red zone, improve on the red zone, on his sophistication and ability to create separation through the trenches. And he's a scheme of you can put McMillan he's a scheme versatility player. You can put him in a different sort of schemes, depends on like what's his best. Like, he's a very versatile wide receiver that you can plug and play, and you can have him in for a couple of games if you're not, you know what I mean. He's a plug and play wide receiver. He's a good weapon to have for especially a young quarterback that you need a lot of. Again, I was talking just earlier saying, like, you could have him at the Patriots. Like, again, if he's there at 4, and I'm looking at the Patriots this year with a Drake May, I'm like, Okay, Drake May needs a lot of protection on the trenches. He needs some elite weapons around him, or going to be elite weapons. He needs some weapons around him. He needs some protection around him. Get McMillan. Again, you could get McMillan if he's on the board at 4. Go and get McMillan at 4. Or if I'm looking at like the Giants, if the Giants draft Sanders at 3, and then McMillan is still on the board at 10, you could trade down at 10 and then go for McMillan or somebody like that. I know that, trade away with the Bears, who currently have the 10th overall pick in the first round. I don't know, but I think, in my opinion, there's a lot of potential in this kid. I think that, again, with the right system around him, the right head coach, the right offensive coordinator, you can get the best out of him. There's going to be a lot of, again, with his framework, there's going to be a lot of stuff. But again, if he works on his framework, he works on the line of scrimmage, on working on his press coverage side of the ball as well. I think that if you coach those things and help him improve on those sides of the ball he needs to work on, then ultimately, outside of his game he needs to work on, then you guys have a wide receiver for the next 5-10 years that you can build with somebody but you need to make sure that he has an elite level quarterback to throw at. Like, give him somebody, again, that he can throw to. That can throw to him.